Hello, Danhausen here. Danhausen here to let you know that you are watching Dre41 Gaming. They do video games of some sort. Who knows? Danhausen doesn't. But you're very nice, very evil, do time. And if you do not watch this channel, you shall rue the day.
But as I was saying though, so like I'm happy that they trust me to to lead the team in designing the creation suite as in regards to what the community wants. You know what I'm saying? And I hope that the ideas that I give them, and don't get me wrong, it's like my baseline ideas are gonna be all right. What's in the current landscape of creation suite? What's available for the community? What does the community want? What does the community like? What do the community think needs to be changed? Things like that. I know one thing for damn sure that I'm going to make sure that they understand completely: equal amount of hairstyles for men and women. Equal amount of hairstyles. And hopefully hairstyles are unisex. They could be for women or men. There's not going to be one for one and not the other. All right, that's what I'm shooting for. That's what I'm shooting for. Also, masks. Masks are very important. Not only because there's different luchadors, but I mean just making sure that the community have options. Man, that's the biggest thing. Like I want the creation suite to have options. So it's like, okay, you want to create this show, you can. You want to create this. Wow. Wow. Shut up, Andre. You want to create a specific thing, you can. You feel me? And it's important to like make sure the replay value, and honestly, the biggest replay value for most wrestling games is the creation suite. That's the replay value because the community is going to keep the game alive. And not just the community, the CAW community, but it's also going to be the modders. You know what I'm saying? The modders are going to keep the game alive as well. But I'm not so much worried about modders because I don't do that. I'm worried about the people who, console players. You feel me? Even though this game is going to come out on PC first, I'm still thinking about the console players because I'm a console player. Even though I have a PC, it's fine. We're not worried about it. I want everybody to enjoy the creation suite. And I don't want it to be a situation where they can't create somebody. And I know for me, what's going to suck is for me to do the dirty work and go through and look at different attires. And I'm talking about from actual wrestlers and see what gear they have. And don't get me wrong, like there's always going to be a base to start with, trunks, biker shorts, long shorts, 3/4 length tights, like Samoan CAWs have or Samoan characters, a la Umaga. I say Umaga like I'm William Regal. Umanga, like Umaga or any Samoan character, Samoan wrestler. And then long tights. And then, doing, short shorts, biker shorts. I'm talking like jeans, like, what I'm saying? Long shorts, jorts, long pants, tight pants, baggy pants, cargo pants. You know what I'm saying? Just a lot of different things going into to just making sure that the creation suite is right there with 2K. Because we're not talking about AEW. Lord knows we're not talking about AEW. But it's important that it's right there with 2K as far as options go, because I think that's the baseline. And I think that's going to be the baseline that a lot of people hold the wrestling code to. And it's fine. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. To be completely honest, in 2020, First off, we're in the 2020s. You feel me? If you decide, especially on Unreal Engine 5, that you're gonna come out with um a below expectations in call mode, Unreal Engine 5, you should be bombarding people with unnecessary options. It should be so many options that it doesn't even make sense. They're just like, I don't know who to make first. I don't know. I don't know what to do. But yeah. And then another thing, right? Another thing, there's not if it's up to me, I am going to fight tooth and damn nail that there's not going to be a one backstage area. No, no, no. There is not going to be no one backstage area. No, we can't. No, that's honestly, to me, unacceptable. Unacceptable. I can't even accept that from 2K. And look how much millions of dollars they have to develop this damn game. If they sit there like, bruh, I can't even tell you how disappointed I am in 2K that they only have the one backstage location. And this has been for multiple years. Mind you, they got the 2K, they got the WWE franchise, WWE Games franchise, what, in 2014? Because 2K15 was the first one, right? Um, and it's just like, bruh, I'm not even playing when I say this. It was just, it was like, there has been zero interest in making sure the backstage arenas are interesting, are fun, and are worth playing in. They have more or less made it pointless to have backstage matches, to have hardcore matches backstage, because it's just one like lifeless backstage. And it's just like, I don't even get how, like, it every year they just choose not to update it. Like, I don't get it, to be completely honest. Like, I truly don't. Like, in my mind, looking at it from the outside looking in, I can't even comprehend, like, what's the, like, when they talk about, all right, what we do backstage. We'll just keep it the same. Oh, we'll add an elevator. Oh, we'll add a spotlight, and that's it. Like, why don't we just revamp it, change it, do multiple locations? Why not? Like, why are we not doing that? Like, I don't even understand. I'm a little bit confused here, and I think that's a big thing, man. I truly feel like that's a big thing, and that's something that they need to figure out, like, sooner rather than later, because it's just bad. Damn, Jushin won fast as hell. I did not expect that. Okay, Jushin doing his damn thing. He moving on to the finals. Oh shoot, let's get it. Let's go, champ. Is he going to attack Asushi Onita? Will he attack him? Let's see. Let's see. Is he going to attack? No, he's not. He's babyface all the way. On to the next match. But yeah, that's basically how I feel. Let's go to UPW, right? Because I'm definitely intrigued, for a fan, from a person who's a fan of Virtual Pro Wrestling 2. UPW intrigues me a lot. I feel like they got the gameplay down pat. I feel like they do, as long as the controls make sense. Um, God, I hope they make sense. Oh my, that's the only thing I worry about, is the controls. I need the controls to be right. But the one thing that kind of worries me a little bit about the game is call mode. I don't like the sizing option they have, from making a skinny wrestler to a larger wrestler. I kind of don't like that. Unless they changed it. I hope they did. But yeah, man, I'm very intrigued about that game. I feel like that game is going to be a hit. And I feel like, with even with that game, that I think, and they smart. like the developers for UPW, they're smart because they see the longevity of people who modify the No Mercy game, who modify, well, basically who modify the Aki games, and they're basically making a game to replace that. That's basically what they're doing. They're making a game to replace to replace the games that fans of the Aki games modify. And you know what? I give them props for that. I give them so much props for that because that was an untapped market that I don't think a lot of people even thought was profitable, and they found their niche into a gameplay that people still play 20 plus years later. The developers of UPW are geniuses. They're so smart in doing that. I would just say the one thing that they kind of that I felt like they kind of dropped the ball at was roster wise. Like having a generic roster is beautiful. That's fine. I don't mind that. But I think the thing that they kind of missed out on, which is current day talent. They went after a lot of ECW guys. They went after a lot of, you know, WCW guys. They weren't really worried about making any current wrestlers from the indie scene. And I know they're gonna say, well, then if they did that, that would just be like the wrestling code. Potentially, but still, without any current talent, now it's just generic wrestlers with legends. It's a legends game. And I think because it's so heavily impacted with legend wrestlers that they have to have the generic wrestlers in order to have good movesets. Because what are you going to do? Start throwing German suplexes on who? You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get me wrong. Having the BWO in the game, there's a lot of moves that you could put in for, Supernova. He did a lot of great wrestling moves. So that's a catch. But yeah, I mean, the UPW game, beautiful. I can't wait to play it. Can't wait to play it. What was it? Ultra Violence? I don't know what happened with that game, dog. I guess you could say the same thing about the wrestling code too, I guess, if you could say that. But I guess they're just, digging down and, trying to get the game going. And hey, listen, I was one of the first people to interview the developer for that. I was one of the first people. I was one of the first people to interview a lot of the developers for wrestling games. Let's put it out there. Me. I was saying, just hey, listen, I just gotta, pat myself on the back on that one because that was something that I wanted to make sure that I can do because I'm interested in wrestling games. I enjoy playing wrestling games, so it was important for me to make sure that the community gets to see these developers who are making these wrestling games. If you don't believe me, the Let's Talk podcast was responsible for first interviews for a lot of the independent wrestling games you're seeing now. Ultra Violence, UPW, hell, the AEW game. The AEW game, dog. I had the first interview for the AEW game. The 2K games. Shoot, what other ones I did? I did a lot. I did a lot. Mark Out. Shout outs to Shannon. I did a lot of interviews with wrestling game developers. A lot of them. And I tell you this, there's not a lot of wrestling game YouTubers who attempt to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, I feel like that's important, man. And I definitely feel like it's important being one of the first ones. Even the Lucha Libre wrestling game that is inspired by the Aki games. Basante Lucha Libre, I forgot the exact name because I'm doing this like late at night, so I'm trying to remember everything. But yeah, man, like I was the first one to interview these guys, the first one, and like I said, man, it's important to get these developers out there and letting the community know um, about these games. You know, even I did a mobile wrestling game development. You know what I'm saying? Like I've done it. I've, and it's crazy because a lot of them, accepted the interview just off the strength of me reaching out. There was one that didn't reply to me. I'm not even gonna say their name because I forgot the name of their game, but you don't see a lot of people playing it, so um ah that's me being petty. Don't pay me no mind. But yeah, like that's but I'm always reaching out, when I see someone like even some of them that, haven't posted anything in a while. I know there was one who was using Joshi wrestlers. And I reached out to them, and they did the pot they joined on the podcast. I think I have the most wrestling developer interviews on YouTube. Wrestling game developer interviews on YouTube. I think I have the most. And it's not that many to be honest, but I think I have the most without being one of these YouTubers with 100,000 subscribers. I'm like the only one who's gotten all these interviews, and some of them, they're small developers. You know what I'm saying? Like, and when I say I got interviews for the AEW game and the 2K game, it's because of one person. Shout outs to my guy Brian Williams. Okay, like I interviewed Brian Williams when he was with 2K, and interviewed Brian Williams when he was with the AEW game. Isn't that crazy? Only person I think ever to do that. I'm lying. That's a lie. Don't quote me on that. That's a lie. I'm lying. Since we lying. Hashtag. Oh damn. What's this? You better not win off of that. You better not win off of Schoolboy. Come on, Muda. I'm shooting for Muda now. I'm just gonna put it out there. I'm shooting for Muda because Taka lost. But yeah. So it's a lot of great wrestling games. I'm ready to play, man. And that's why I play these older ones because I don't know. It's like playing the AEW game is I. Playing the WWE game, I've been doing it for years. There's nothing special to it. I can't wait for Jade Cargill to come out. That's really it. Hey, my boy Muda won. Let's go. That's my guy. That's what I like to see. That right there is what I like to see. The great Muda get a victory. That's what I like to see. All right, we're going to the finals now. So the next match is the end of the episode. So all right, let's get to it. Let's get to it. All right, Jushin Liger versus the Great Muda in the finals of the King of the Ring. Put a one in the chat, man. If you still watching, man, I definitely appreciate you, yo. I really do. And like I said, the one thing I always want to do is make a wrestling game channel where you could watch different wrestling games, not just WWE. That initially that wasn't my goal until the pandemic. And then after that, the idea of what I wanted my channel to be kind of changed because I had more time at home. I mean, where was I going? where was I going? You know what I'm saying? Like everything was shut down, so it was eBay it up, get a bunch of wrestling games, and switch up the channel. Because honestly, for a long time, it was just WWE games, and I was just like, bruh. Like this is getting weak. This is getting weak. But that's the one thing the pandemic did for me was give me the ability to get more wrestling games. That's the one thing that it definitely did do. Not only just that, but like just a lot of retro games that I've had in the past that I wanted to get again. That was like super important to me, and I feel like that helped me really get in tune with what I enjoy doing, man, is just like playing old school games. And when I say old school games, these are games I grew up playing like as a kid. Like I remember playing this when I was a kid and enjoying the hell out of this game, man. I really did. Like I enjoyed this game a lot. And there was a lot of other wrestling games that I missed out on. You feel me? And even now, like, you see 3 videos a week. I don't record videos every single week. I record maybe 1, 2 videos a week. You know what I'm saying? And for me, it's just because getting older, you got more responsibilities, so it's like you don't have time, and it's just like if I'm trying to record stuff, I can't really create as much as I want to, or whatever the case is. Like a lot of the times, like in my channel from years ago, I would try to like record the process of creating a wrestler, and that's something untapped that I can really tap into and try to do, but the time and effort, man, it's a lot. It's always a lot with any of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? And then trying to manage a work life and a personal life. It's a lot of work, and it's something that I think about. It's like, all right, well, something got to step to the wayside in order for this to happen. So it's a balancing act. You feel me? Oh, big germ. Um, but yeah, I'm still gonna try my best to do as much as I can. Like I said, creating wrestlers, like when the next wrestling game comes out, the next WWE game come out, I'm not creating a bunch of wrestlers. I'm not. Like y'all guys are good. The community's good. Like they don't need a bunch of calls from me. Let's be honest. Y'all don't. Um, shoot, and I don't got time to be creating a bunch of them. The only thing that that I will always think about when it comes to creating wrestlers is logo management and how so many people don't know how to handle that. Damn it, Jushin won. Oh my goodness. I'm not a fan. I am not a fan of this outcome at all in any way, shape, or form. This is not what I wanted. I don't believe this has happened. Um, yeah, this is nonsense. I'm not happy that Jushin won. Let's just put it out there. Well, I have been recording for 46 minutes, and Jushin Liger has won the King of the Ring. All right, you're going to see a bunch of Japanese wrestling games come up now. All right, so if you're not a fan of Japanese wrestling games, I don't know what to tell you. But thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you're new. I have a ton of wrestling games on here, universe modes, playthroughs of Japanese wrestling games that you probably don't see the full playthrough on YouTube. So definitely check out my channel, like this video. And other than that, y'all stay safe. I'm going to catch y'all guys on the next video later.